In the Talmud, there is a term that is known as Taiku. Taiku is an acronym for Tishbi Yitaretz Kushiot V'Bayot, or Tishbi Yitaretz Kushis V'Bayos, depending on your pronunciation. This means Tishbi, the Tishbite, referring to Elijah the prophet, Yitaretz will answer Kushiot, difficulties, V'Bayot, and questions or quandaries. When there is a debate, a discussion, or a dialogue in the Talmud, and sometimes it's lengthy and sometimes it's not, but there sometimes is what is known as a teiku, which is an unresolved question. It's when no one has an answer, or at least an adequate answer to be stated, that this teiku means that we must wait until the Messiah comes, and then we'll know the answers. Because Elijah, who comes to herald the Messiah, the tradition has it that he will answer all of these teikus in the Talmud. And I'm only speaking with respect to the Babylonian Talmud, because what I'm told, and from what I've observed, although I'm by no means an expert or a scholar in the Jerusalem Talmud, that I'm told that there are no teikus, which is not to say that there are no unresolved questions or unanswered questions in Jerusalem Talmud, but there's no recording of the word teiku, and that could be a discussion for a whole different time, discussion for a different time. But this teiku idea intrigued a certain rabbi by the name of Rabbi Aharon Yehoshua Pessin, who I think lives in Ramat Beit Shemesh, to the point where he wrote a book where he compiled all of these teikus, these unanswered questions, these unresolved questions of halachic debates between Amoraic rabbis in the Talmud, and he called it teiku, and he lists 317 teikus that start from the first teiku, the first unresolved question, which occurs on page 8a of Tractate Brachot, at the bottom of the page, and all the way until 63. I don't remember now if it's A or B, but 63, page 63 of Nida, which is the last tractate, and I don't know where on the page it is, how many lines, but it's he lists 317, and this is 317 times that the word teiku appears. And I say that because I've come across at least one teiku already, that it's not only one question, it's like a 3-part question, and then to all those 3 parts, the Gemara answers teiku. So it's really, if you think about it, and if you count out every single question that goes into each teiku, there's quite a bit more than 317, but that number is very significant, because 317 is the gematria of the word Vayikra, right? Vav is 6, Yud is 10, that's 16, Kuf is 100, it's 116, and Reish is 200, so that's 200, and 200 plus 116 is 316, and then Aleph is 317. And what is so interesting about the fact that Vayikra is gematria 317? What is so significant and interesting is that the first time the word HaMashiach, the Messiah, appears in the 5 books of Moses in the Torah is in the Parsha of Vayikra, in the portion of the sacrifices, specifically in the portion of the Kohen HaMashiach. It's in Leviticus chapter 4, verse 3, and the verse says, Im HaKohen HaMashiach etc. If he makes atonement for his house and for the people of Israel. And so, if the first time the word Mashiach is mentioned with regard to this Kohen HaMashiach is in Vayikra, and Vayikra equals 317, and our tradition is, the Talmudic tradition is, that we will get the answers to these Taikus, to these 317 Taikus, when, with the advent of the coming of Messiah, when Elijah the prophet heralds the Messiah, then isn't it interesting that this parsha equals 317 in Gematria, and there's that many Taikus in the Talmud? I'm amazed at how things happen that way. But this is something that I noticed. I didn't hear this from anybody. I just kind of noticed it myself. Of course, with the aid of God, for sure. And I wouldn't have noticed it myself if I wasn't. I should say I was shown this, not that I found it myself. But what I wanted to say was I didn't hear it from anybody personally. And so with that, I'll continue in the work. I'm up to and every few videos I say this intro because it's just so astounding to me. This pattern. It's anyway. I'm up to the 12th Taiku. According to his book, Rabbi Aharon Yoshua Pessin's book Taiku, I'm up to the 12th Taiku as he lists it, and I'm going to him because he took out the time, and this was his, I guess you could say, brainchild. It was his. This is his labor of love, his work. He took out the time to search out all these Taikus and to put them into one place. And I noticed that in some ways he lists it differently than, let's say, in the order of the Daf Yomi, but because it's his book, I'm going to his book. So anyway, the 12th Taiku in Talmud Bavli occurs in Tractate Shabbat, page 66b, with the words Tanu Rabbanan. Tanu Rabbanan Yotzim Be'evin Tekuma B'Shabbos. Mishum Rabbi Meir Amru Ach b'mishkal Evin Tekuma V'lo shehipila Ela shema tapil V'lo sheibra Ela shema titaber v'tapil Amar Rav Yeimar bar Shelemia B'shmei Abaye V'hu d'ikaven v'itkal Ba'i Abaye mishkal Mai Taiku. This is the translation of what I just read. The sages taught in Braita, one may go out with a preservation stone which prevents miscarriages on Shabbat. I'm not sure what that is, if that's something metaphysical or if it's something physical. I'm not sure what a preservation stone is, if it's some kind of like an amulet that prevented miscarriages, because on some of these Taikus, one of them they mentioned amulet that healed. So I don't know if this is that or if it's a physical thing that the woman wears or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's called a preservation stone, and it prevents miscarriages. And it's not considered carrying. One may go out with a preservation stone. They said in the name of Rabbi Meir that one may go out even with the counterweight of a preservation stone, which is a stone or another object that was weighed against and found equivalent to the weight of a preservation stone, which is also effective. And this leniency applies not only to a woman who miscarried in the past and is concerned that she may miscarry again, rather it applies even to a woman who never miscarried and is concerned lest she miscarry for the first time. And it applies not only to a woman who is aware that she is pregnant, rather it applies even to a woman, even if a woman suspects that she may become pregnant and miscarry. Rav Yeimar bar Shelemia said it in the name of Abaye, and this applies only when he happened upon an object that was found equal to the preservation stone when he weighed it against that stone, not when one alters the object to equal the weight of the preservation stone. Abaye raised a dilemma. with regard to a counterweight to the counterweight. Wow. They not only have counterweights, but they have a counterweight to the counterweight. Meaning one who finds an object that determines its weight by weighing it against the counterweight of the preservation stone. What is its legal status? May a woman go out into the public domain with it? The Gemara concludes, let this dilemma stand unresolved. Taiku, and we need to wait until the Messiah comes and Elijah the prophet heralds the coming of the Messiah.